All right, folks, today's video is your step-by-step guide on how to defraud a bank, become a billionaire, and live the high life as a playboy. Oh, and don't forget, we'll throw in a little black magic for good measure. Totally foolproof.
This is totally foolproof, man.
Relax. We're not here to teach you how to break the law or summon demons. But we are about to dive into one of the most bizarre, captivating, and frankly, unbelievable stories in modern banking history. This is the story of Foutanga Babani Sissoko, a charismatic and mysterious man from Mali who used black magic, yes, black magic, to pull off a daring fraud at the Dubai Islamic Bank in the 1990s. A tale of greed, deception, and spiritual mysticism that nearly toppled one of the most respected financial institutions in the Middle East. And the craziest part? He almost completely got away with it. So buckle up, this story has it all.
Money, power, the devil.
And a twist that'll leave you questioning what's real and what's not. Welcome to Dubai, a global phenomenon, a city of superlatives where the world's tallest buildings meet the world's boldest dreams. Today, it's a bustling hub for culture, business, and luxury, attracting millions from around the globe. But in 1995, Dubai was only beginning its meteoric rise. The skyscrapers you see today, not even a whisper on the horizon. Instead, it was a rapidly developing city, drawing entrepreneurs, traders, and dreamers hoping to make their mark.
Another loan application for approval. Make sure the paperwork is complete this time. Good luck with that. Half of them don't even meet the criteria.
Excuse me, ma'am. I need to speak to the bank manager, Mohammed Ayub. It's urgent.
Sir, you'll need an appointment to see Mr. Ayub. He's very busy today.
I insist. This is a matter of great importance. Please, let him know I'm here.
Mr. Ayub, there's a man here insisting on seeing you. He won't leave until you agree.
Send him in. Let's see what this is about. Mr. Sissoko, I assume. What brings you here today?
Thank you for seeing me, Mr. Ayub. I won't take much of your time. I've recently arrived in Dubai on a business visa, and I'm in need of a car loan.
A car loan? Mr. Sissoko, you're new to Dubai. Typically, loans require collateral, a stable income, or at the very least, some financial history here. Do you have any of these?
No, I don't. But I have something better. Trust.
Trust? That's not usually a currency we deal in at the bank.
Perhaps not. But trust me, Mr. Ayub, you won't regret granting me this loan.
Mr. Sissoko, I would never usually do this for anybody, but something about you makes me trust you. So, against my better judgment, fine. I'll approve the loan. But please don't make me regret this.
You won't. And to show my appreciation, I insist you come to my apartment for dinner tonight. I have something extraordinary to share with you.
That's kind of you, but I'm not sure it's necessary.
Please, Mr. Ayub, what I will show you is unlike anything you've seen before. It's part of my culture, a marvel you'll never forget.
All right, Mr. Sissoko, I'll come.
The following night, Mohammed Ayub arrived at Sissoko's apartment. What began as a dinner invitation quickly turned into something far stranger, an encounter that would blur the lines between reality and illusion.
Mr. Ayub, thank you for accepting my invitation. Hospitality is sacred in my culture, and it's an honor to host you tonight.
The honor is mine, Mr. Sissoko. Your home is beautiful, different from anything I've seen in Dubai.
Ah, but this is just the surface. Tonight, I want to show you something truly extraordinary, something beyond what most can comprehend.
What is it you want to show me?
Patience, my friend. You're about to witness something most men only dream of.
This is incredible. What is this place?
This is where the magic happens, quite literally. I am a sorcerer, Mr. Ayub. I have the power to summon the jinn, spirits capable of extraordinary feats. They can do many things, but tonight they will double your money.
A sorcerer? Mr. Sissoko, are you sure about what you are saying? Double my money. That's a bold claim.
It is bold because it is true. Bring me any amount, and I will return twice as much. But be warned, the process is not for the faint of heart.
Okay, Mr. Sissoko, I will arrange for the funds. Please allow me to make a phone call. Hello? Yes, Salim. Bring me 100,000 dirhams immediately. Deliver it to Mr. Sissoko's apartment. It's urgent.
Soon the doorbell rings, and Ayub collects the money and places it in the center of the room. Sissoko takes an intense breath and commences the ritual. The atmosphere in the room becomes more intense. Sissoko lights more incense, and the smoke thickens, creating an almost suffocating haze. He then proceeds to chant in a deep, rhythmic tone, swaying back and forth.
Is this normal?
Perfectly normal. The jinn prefer their rituals to be private, but I will allow you to observe. For now.
Suddenly, a loud crash echoes from the adjacent room. The door busts open, and a man stumbles out, screaming incoherently.
Oh my God, what's happening?
The jinn! It attacked me! I can't stay here!
Do not worry, Mr. Ayub. The jinn are merely unsettled by your presence. It's best if you wait outside until the process is complete.
Are you sure?
Trust me, all will be well. Come in, Mr. Ayub. Your money is ready.
Alhamdulillah. This is real? It's actually doubled?
100,000 dirhams, as promised. Now it's 200,000. Remember, Mr. Ayub, the jinn never disappoints.
Mashallah, incredible, truly incredible.
If you think things couldn't get crazier from here, you're in for a ride. Let's break this down, step by step. Because what happens next is the kind of story that makes you question reality, logic, and frankly, common sense. Here's what we know. After that first night, Muhammad Ayub, the bank manager of the Dubai Islamic Bank, became utterly convinced that Sissoko was a sorcerer. He genuinely believed that this man could summon jinn to double any sum of money. And that belief? It triggered a chain of events that would drain the bank of an eye-watering $242 million over the next 3 years.
Money, 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 money.
Here's how it worked. Ayub opened a special account in the bank just for Sissoko, and this wasn't just for small sums. Oh no. Between 1995 and 1998, Ayub personally authorized 183 separate transfers to Sissoko's accounts, not just in Dubai, but also in Switzerland, the US, and France. The grand total, $242 million. Now you're probably wondering, why would Ayub keep transferring money if the jinn never actually doubled a single dirham? Excellent question. Let's dig into some possible explanations. First, we have the black magic theory. Some people believe that Sissoko wasn't just a con artist, he was a genuine sorcerer. They think he used magic or jinn to cloud Ayub's judgment, compelling him to keep transferring money, even as logic flew out the window. I mean, it's certainly dramatic, but is it realistic? Probably not. Still, the belief in black magic was, and remains, powerful in many cultures. And it could have played a role in Ayub's irrational decisions. The second theory is fear. What if Ayub truly believed Sissoko had supernatural powers and was terrified of what might happen if he disobeyed him? Maybe he thought a curse would harm him or his family, so he kept transferring money out of sheer terror. Then there's the blackmail theory. Some speculate that Sissoko might have threatened Ayub. Imagine this. Ayub makes the first big transfer, realizes he's been duped, and then Sissoko refuses to return the money. Instead, he threatens to expose Ayub or harm him if the transfers don't continue. It's a plausible scenario, But even if this were the case, it still doesn't explain why Ayub didn't report Sissoko or why no one else in the bank caught on. Here's the real kicker. How on earth did $242 million go missing over 3 years without anyone noticing? This is a bank we're talking about. Were there no audits, no accountants, no systems in place to flag unusual transactions? Some people argue that banking systems in the 1990s weren't as advanced as they are today. But even in the 90s, $242 million disappearing should have raised more red flags than a bullfighting arena. Did they just shrug and say, "Oh, it's probably fine"? Or was Ayub's authority so absolute that no one dared question him? Whatever the reason, this was negligence on an epic scale. A fraud of this magnitude should have been impossible to pull off, and yet Sissoko did it for 3 whole years. But the question remains, did Sissoko rely on clever deception, fear, or was there something truly supernatural at play?
No, I've never seen anything like it before in my life.
Babani Sissoko returned to his hometown of Dabia, Mali. This small, impoverished village was about to experience a transformation like no other. Sissoko showered his people with gifts and initiated various projects to improve their lives. To the villagers, he wasn't just wealthy, he was a savior. They called him Basur, a father figure revered across the region. But the money didn't stop flowing. By 1996, Sissoko had moved to New York City, where the next chapter of his extravagant life would unfold. In November 1995, only weeks after dazzling Dubai Islamic Bank's manager with his so-called magic, Sissoko visited Citibank in New York. And what began as a banking transaction turned into something far more personal.
Mr. Sissoko, your finances are really impressive. You must be very successful to handle accounts of this size.
Success comes to those who dream big. But success is nothing without someone to share it with.
Within days, Sissoko and the Citibank employee Karen were married, or at least he called her his wife. Karen believed it too, though she soon learned she wasn't his only wife. Sissoko had many others, some in Africa, some in Miami, and others scattered across the globe. But Karen didn't seem to mind.
Yeah, I don't care about that stupid stuff.
With millions secured, Sissoko turned his attention to an ambitious project. Using the wealth siphoned from Dubai, he established his own airline, naming it Air Dabia after his home village. He purchased a Hawker Siddeley 125 and 2 used Boeing 727s, each capable of carrying 180 passengers. Air Dabia was meant to connect Mali to the rest of the world, a symbol of progress and pride. But like many of Sissoko's ventures, the airline struggled to take off, literally. The planes mostly remained grounded. Sissoko's attention drifted, and the ambitious airline became just another extravagant chapter in his opulent life. But Sissoko's lavish lifestyle didn't end there. He spent extravagantly, buying whatever his heart desired. His generosity extended to his wives, his friends, and anyone lucky enough to cross his path. Back in Dabia, Sissoko's reputation grew to legendary status. He continued to pour money into the village, funding schools, building homes, and transforming the local economy. To his people, he was a hero. To the rest of the world, he was living a double life, a benevolent benefactor fueled by stolen millions. But even the grandest schemes can't last forever. As Sissoko's empire grew, so did the scrutiny, and soon his world of illusions would come crashing down. In July 1996, Sissoko's lavish lifestyle took a sharp turn. After attempting to purchase 2 decommissioned U.S. military helicopters, he found himself under investigation. His associates had tried to bribe a U.S. official with $30,000, a bribe that backfired spectacularly. The U.S. government issued an international warrant for his arrest, and Sissoko was eventually apprehended in Geneva. But even behind bars, Sissoko's charm and wealth worked wonders. Sissoko had turned his Swiss prison stint into something out of a luxury retreat. He arranged for exquisite meals to be flown in from Paris every night, lobster, foie gras, the works. The prison director, who enjoyed a share of these meals, was in no hurry to extradite him.
Why rush the extradition? He's a polite man, and his presence here benefits us all.
Let me guess, fine dining every night?
Ha ha ha, yes, yes, among other things. He has a unique way of making friends.
Sissoko had mastered the art of using money to win over even the most skeptical individuals. But this charm wouldn't be enough to save him from extradition. By March 1997, Sissoko was extradited to Miami to face bribery charges. The stakes were high, and so was the drama.
Your Honor, the defendant attempted to bribe a U.S. official with $30,000 to expedite the purchase of military helicopters. Helicopters that could have been used for nefarious purposes, including drug trafficking or armed conflicts.
Your Honor, my client is a philanthropist, not a criminal. Those helicopters were intended to save lives as air ambulances in his home country of Mali. There was no malice, no intent to break the law.
Order in the court. Mr. Spencer, continue.
Your Honor, my client has spent millions improving the lives of his people. He's built schools, hospitals, and even an airline. These esteemed diplomats are here to attest to his character.
Good deeds do not absolve someone from criminal behavior. Mr. Sissoko's wealth has allowed him to live above the law for far too long.
Given the extraordinary circumstances of this case, I am setting bail at $20 million, an unprecedented amount in this court.
Your Honor, we will pay the amounts.
Sissoko shocked the court by agreeing to pay the $20 million bail on the spot. Once released, he wasted no time resuming his extravagant lifestyle. Sissoko rented over 20 apartments in Miami, each for a different wife, and spent millions on jewelry, cars, and lavish parties. He was reportedly spending up to $1 million a month, all while the Dubai Islamic Bank continued to funnel money into his accounts. To improve his public image, Sissoko played the role of a modern-day Robin Hood. He donated to the poor, supported local causes, and even helped a school band travel to New York for the Thanksgiving Day parade. But behind the generosity was a man facing mounting legal troubles. When the trial finally began, Sissoko stunned everyone by taking full responsibility for the bribery attempt, against his lawyer's advice.
Why would you confess? We could have fought this.
Mr. Spencer, sometimes it's better to end one fight before it leads to another.
Years later, speculation arose that Sissoko's confession was a calculated move to prevent deeper investigations into his financial dealings. In the end, he was sentenced to just 43 days in jail and fined $250,000. Sissoko's time in a Florida federal prison was short-lived. After serving part of his sentence, he struck a deal to complete the remainder under house arrest in exchange for a $1 million donation to a homeless shelter. Once released, Sissoko returned to Mali, where he was welcomed as a hero. But the question remained, how long could he keep this charade going? Sissoko may have escaped justice in Miami, but back in Dubai, the cracks in his empire were beginning to show. By March 1998, the cracks in Sissoko's empire were beginning to show. At the Dubai Islamic Bank, discrepancies in the accounts had become impossible to ignore. The bank's director, Mohammed Ayub, found himself cornered as suspicious colleagues demanded answers.
I'm screwed.
It's complicated, Ahmed. You wouldn't understand.
Try me. The auditors are breathing down our necks. The clients are asking questions, and the numbers are catastrophic. We're talking hundreds of millions of dirhams. Where is the money, Mohammed?
890 million dirhams. That's the total.
890 million! My God. Mohammed, how? Why? Mohammed!
I don't know what came over me. He wasn't just a man. He was something more. A sorcerer, a wizard. He could double money, Ahmed. He showed me. I thought it was real.
You mean to tell me you gave him nearly $1 billion dirhams because you believed he could double it? Mohammed, this isn't magic, it's madness.
He said he could double it. He actually there in front of me. I don't know what happened, what came over me. No. Here's God. Everything is gone. I'm ruined.
As the scandal broke, panic spread among the bank's clients. The Emirate government quickly intervened to prevent a run on the bank, assuring the public that their deposits were safe. But behind closed doors, the damage was done. Mohammed Ayub and 16 others were arrested and sentenced to 3 years in prison. As for Sissoko, he was convicted in absentia, but remained untouchable, safe in Mali, a country with no extradition treaties. Sissoko returned to Mali as a hero, but questions lingered. What happened to the $242 million? And was Sissoko truly the sorcerer he claimed to be? After evading justice in Dubai, Sissoko returned to Mali, where he was welcomed as a hero. With his newfound wealth, he funded numerous projects in his hometown of Dabia, building schools, hospitals, and infrastructure that transformed the region. To the people, he wasn't a criminal, he was a savior. His popularity grew so much that in 2002, Sissoko decided to enter politics. Riding on his reputation as a benefactor, he ran for parliament and won by a landslide. As a member of the Malian parliament, Sissoko gained diplomatic immunity, ensuring his safety even if he traveled abroad. During his time in office, Sissoko continued to use his fortune to bolster his image. But his spending habits were unsustainable. His extravagant lifestyle drained his resources, and by the time the 2014 elections rolled around, his popularity had waned. Sissoko lost his parliamentary seat and, with it, his diplomatic immunity. Without political protection, Sissoko retreated to his hometown of Dabia, where he lived a quieter life. But even in obscurity, his legend endured. In 2018, a BBC journalist managed to track down Sissoko for the only known interview he ever gave. The hope was to uncover the truth behind his incredible story.
Mr. Sissoko, thank you for agreeing to this interview. People still have so many questions about your past, your wealth, your philanthropy, and, of course, the Dubai Islamic Bank scandal.
Questions are like waves in the ocean, my dear. They come and go, but the sea remains.
Let's start with the $242 million. Did you really embezzle that money from the Dubai Islamic Bank?
Embezzled? Ha ha ha. That's a strong word, my dear. Let's just say I was gifted opportunities.
And the claims of black magic, the rituals, the jinn, was any of it true?
You crack me up. Seriously, do I look like a sorcerer to you? Magic is for bedtime stories. What happened with the bank was nothing more than human belief. They wanted to believe I could double their money, and I gave them what they wanted. A dream.
But the money, Mr. Sissoko, where did it all go?
Money is like smoke. It rises, it spreads, and then it's gone. I spent it on my people, on projects, on dreams that didn't always take flight. What remains is not the money, but the lives I touched.
And what do you say to those who call you a thief, a con artist?
I say this. The bank opened its doors and I walked in. Who's truly at fault? The man who asks, or the institution that gives without question?
One last question. Do you have any regrets?
Regrets? My dear, life is too short for regrets. I lived as a king and I die as a legend. Isn't that what we all want?
Foutanga Babani Sissoko lived the kind of life that most people only read about in novels. From a poor village in Mali to international headlines, he was a man who defied the rules of reality, blending charisma, deception, and generosity into an extraordinary tale. He passed away in 2021, leaving behind a legacy as polarizing as it was unforgettable. To some, he was a hero, to others, a con man. But one thing is certain, his story will be told for generations to come. So, what do you think? Was Sissoko a criminal mastermind or a man who simply took advantage of an open door? Let us know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more extraordinary tales from history.